Hello everyone, my name is Yorgos. I'm a Greek teacher and I have helped over 150 students learn how to speak Greek. And today, together, we're going to see the letter combinations in Greek. Both when we have two vowels together, for example, like the word ime, or when we have two consonants together. And by consonants, I mean closed sounds, like the word banana. So let's get into it. Starting with the vowel combos, these ones are the most common ones that you can find in the Greek language. Starting off with the first combination, we have the letter alpha and the letter iota right next to each other. And when these two are next to each other, they make the sound e. For example, we showcase that with this word right here, which is παιδί. Παιδί. Then moving on to the next letter combination, which is a combination of epsilon and again iota. Epsilon, iota. And that makes the sound e. For example, ime. And you see the me part over here uses the combination that we covered just before. All in all, it is sounded as ime. And then we have another very interesting combination, which is omicron and again iota, and that makes the sound e again. For example, this word we have φίλοι, φίλοι, and I have covered in a previous video that actually the e sounds in Greek are 5, and 2 of them are from letter combinations, epsilon iota, omicron iota. So if I quickly go through the e's in Greek, those would be eta, iota, epsilon, epsilon iota, and omicron iota. 5 of them overall. Then moving on to our next letter combination, and that would be omicron, which is our O in Greek, and epsilon, which is our other E. And when you find those together, omicron and epsilon, they make the sound U. And a Greek word that we can see is pou. That means where. Then moving on to some very interesting combinations. The alpha and epsilon and the epsilon and epsilon. These combinations are very unique because they have 2 sounds each. When you see an A and an epsilon, they can make the sound af or av. Same for epsilon and epsilon. They can make the sound ev or f. And that usually depends on the letter that comes right after. But we don't have a lot of words like that use these combinations. So if you just learn those words, you will know whether it is f or ev or af or av. But let's go see some examples with these combinations. So for this combination, alpha and epsilon, we have αύριο, and over here our combination is sounded as av, αύριο, and that means tomorrow. And we have over here αυτό, and this combination here is sounded as af. So you see we have 2 versions, αύριο and αυτό. And then a couple more examples for our next combinations, epsilon and epsilon. That would be first ευημερία, and here it is sounded as ev, ευημερία, and that is prosperity. And then we have ευτυχία, ευτυχία, and this is sounding like f, ευτυχία, and that means happiness, and it is even actually a Greek name as well. And then moving on to our consonant combinations. And when I say consonant, by the way, it's a fancy word to say a closed sound, like r or 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 x, and in any language as well. And vowels, on the other hand, are open sounds, like a, o, i, e, u. Just putting this out there so these big words don't confuse you. So the first combination that we have for our consonants is the letter mi and the letter p. So both of them, if you try to pronounce m and p together, they make the closed sound b. Like for example, banana, banana. exactly like the sound B or the letter B in English. Another word could be balcony, and that is a balcony. Another word is babas, which is the dad. And then our next combination is ni and taf. So an N sound and a T sound. And if we try to put those together, we have the sound D, D. Like for example, domata, domata. And that is a tomato, domata. Another example could be dulapa, which is the wardrobe, dulapa. Then moving on, we have two more combinations that are pronounced exactly the same way, even though they're spelled a bit differently. So we have gamma and kappa, or gamma and gamma together. And these make the sound g, like when we say garage, and that is the garage in English. Or agliga, and that is English. So gamma kappa or gamma gamma, they make the sound g. Moving on, we have the combination of taf and sigma. And if you try to put those together, you have the sound ch. For example, tada, tada. And at the first syllable, we have t and s, the combination we're teaching right now, t. And then we have the ni and the taf, which is this one. So we have our D sound. So this is tada. And lastly, we have a favorite combination of many people, because many people connect this combination with a certain food that we have in Greece, and that is the taf and zeta combination. And this makes the sound j. And in Greek, of course, we have the word tzatziki. Tzatziki. And that is, of course, tzatziki sauce, maybe you can call it in English, of yogurt, cucumber, garlic, olive oil, and depending on how you make it, maybe a few spices on top as well. And lastly, we might have some combinations that are less common ones. Give it a try to pronounce each. First off, we have this one. That would be pronounced strivo. Strivo. And over here we have a sigma, a taf, and a r after one another. Next one is dromos. Dromos. And here we have a delta and a r right next to each other. And what I found is that many people, when they try to pronounce a lot of consonants one after the other, they tend to add little vowels, little open sounds, because they are not sure how to pronounce them. The key is to have these two letters, when you pronounce them, stacked next to each other as much as possible. For example, this is dromos. So you see, the moment I finish the in my mouth, r starts. Dromos. And same for this. Strivo. Strivo. So it's one after each other. It's not soterivo, you know? It's strivo. Moving on, this is a Greek island. Zakynthos. Zakynthos. And the two letters that we have here are n and th, right next to each other. And again, no space in between. It's zakynthos, not zakynithos or zakynothos, zakynthos. Moving on, this is vedro. Vedro. We have our n and t combination, which makes it sound D, and then an R right next to it. Vedro. Then we have phinoporo. Phinoporo. And here we have a th and the th one after the other. So we make the sound th. Phinoporo. And lastly, we have skleros. Skleros. And that means tough. Skleros. And it's a tough word to pronounce as well. I'm guessing. Skleros. So we have 3 letters together, a S, a K, and a L, and we try to put no space between. Skleros. So that was it, you guys. I know that this was probably pretty challenging, especially if your language doesn't have these hard sounds, especially when they follow one after the other. But with a lot of practice, you will eventually be able to pronounce these. If you want to learn more Greek, join my free Greek learning community by clicking the link in the description or the link in my profile. See you in the next one.